Apologies and condolences to the families of all involved. Apparently, according to the CVR recording, there were several things going on with this aircraft before it even took off. And then after it took off, the pilot or captain's side altimeter stopped functioning. There was an electrical issue of some sort, which led to the degradation and the functionality loss of certain instrumentation, as well as a degradation in the CVR recording quality. So there was a lot going on, but that's not all. They actually departed the airport VFR under visual flight rules. The airport was about 5,000 overcast. This meant that they had to pick up an IFR clearance after they had taken off. That adds an extra degree of pressure. But with the amount of stuff that was going on, they decided just to turn around and come back. At least they were going to try and do that, and they did not succeed in that attempt. According to the NTSB, there were several issues with the aircraft before they departed, but they departed anyway, and then they had more issues after they departed. How old was the aircraft? The aircraft was 44 years old. Does that make it dangerous? Not necessarily. It just requires doing proper maintenance. But to put that in perspective, I'm 61 years old. And when that aircraft was built, I was 17 years old. According to the NTSB, the captain was a retired Delta Airlines pilot, and the co-pilot was his 20-year-old son. Before the 1980s, accidents were usually categorized in three different areas: pilot error, operational error, or human failure. But a man by the name of James Reason believed that that was too simplistic, and he actually developed the Swiss cheese model as far as causation. The layers in the Swiss cheese model are designed to prevent accidents from occurring. And the layers consist of regulations, company procedures, training, aircraft design, checklists, the proper utilization, and air traffic control, and the pilot. The holes in the Swiss cheese model represent weaknesses, human errors, design flaws, poor decisions, and organizational pressure. That can include self-induced pressure. Typically, no one thing causes an accident. It's typically the result of a straight line going through several of these holes to the scene of the accident. It's cumulative. It's not just any one thing. The NTSB determined that the captain's 20-year-old son was not qualified to be occupying the co-pilot seat of the aircraft. One of the other things that's going to be looked into is the previous flight history of this aircraft and who operated it. If it turns out that the father-son crew were operating this aircraft previously and repeatedly, then there was a disregard of federal aviation regulations because you had a pilot who was not qualified, according to the NTSB, to be occupying the right seat of this aircraft. It would be hard to imagine that an owner would sign off on something like that, especially with their own family sitting in the back with them. One final comment I'd like to make: human factors are a recurring theme in most aviation accidents. We've had some amazing technologies appear in the last several decades. Autonomous aircraft, AI. What does this mean? Does this mean that we're headed to a period in which we can operate aircraft without pilots? Maybe that conversation is too soon to be discussed right now. But something that cannot be ignored is the decline in accidents that would occur without humans operating aircraft.